Oh boy, I can't believe I have to fix my lips to say this, but let me get this out the way. First and foremost, congratulations to the Dallas Cowboys in the battle of America's teams. You got the job done. You got the W on Sunday Night Football, albeit delayed because Thor or maybe Chiseled was over the damn stadium. Thunderstorms running amok, delayed the game for an hour and 20 minutes. One way or another, y'all got the W. There will be no excuses regarding injury, regarding climate, regarding delays, because we had to deal with the same stuff you had to deal with. So congratulations to you. You got the job done. Now that we got that order of business out the way, let's talk Pittsburgh Steelers. First and foremost, I don't understand why we happen to go out there and showcase our love of our Second Amendment rights, but take out our firearm, transmogrify into Plaxico Burress, and shoot ourselves in the foot. We might as well have put number 80 jerseys across all 11 on offense, and then unfortunately all 11 on defense, because we find a way to make games harder than it needs to be. We'll start to look as if we're building a bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden, how about a hold here, illegal contact here, how about a false start here, how about an illegal shift here, how about a holding here? It makes absolutely no sense why we happen to go out here and do this. Why are we still having the exact same problem? We can never get an actual good look at our offense because we continue to showcase our ineptitude when it comes to discipline. This is a coaching problem, because we're going into games for whatever reason undisciplined, not knowing our alignment, not knowing our assignment, not knowing our responsibility, and continuing to making these goddamn bonehead plays. It's absolutely ridiculous why we got fucking flags being thrown every single game because of our own mistakes. Secondly, defense, we got some problems despite the fact that you played yourself a great game. 3 takeaways. Did it result in a victory? Absolutely not. You want to know why? Because on third down, for the last 10 years, we have had the same problem. First and second down, we'll set it up to where the opponent has like a third and manageable, maybe a third and short, maybe even a third and long, and all of a sudden, we can no longer get a stop. They had 10 third down opportunities in the second half. We stopped them 3 times. We were able to force a field goal situation where luckily we were able to get a block. The other opportunity turned into the game-winning touchdown, and then luckily we were able to get a stop at one other point. But one way or another, it's absolutely ludicrous that we cannot get off the field on third down. They absolutely took advantage of our defense on that final drive. Why? Because they know y'all get tired. And when third down comes, they feel absolutely confident. Why? Because that's why they didn't call timeout on that final drive up until they made it inside the 10-yard line. Because they know they can exploit your asses. Everybody falling forward, picking up additional yards because we can't seem to get tackles for loss. I know some of y'all gonna talk, well, what about if Nick Herbig never got hurt? Dallas had people who went to the sideline due to injury as well. I don't want to hear shit about no goddamn injuries. We've got to be able to get off the field on third down and make stops. We had 3 takeaways. How many teams you know have the turnover battle won by 3 and still lose? Cannot go and generate points. Why? Because our offense is abysmal. We ran the football terribly today. Najee Harris, 42 yards. What are we doing? Where's the vision? Where's the vision? You would have thought it was the end of the motherfucking Avengers Infinity War with the way our vision was completely dead. We could not break into the open field whatsoever. Hands just for decoration, opening up the game. Connor Hayward down the field. You can't survive the contact of the ground. We got to drop. Another situation where we have a moment to where we can move the chains. Unfortunately, Connor Hayward gets that football punched out his hands. Granted, we was able to keep that drive going on that particular drive when it got punched out. But one way or another, balls on the ground. Lack of protection up front. Justin Fields having a freaking panic in the pocket, taking a sack here and there. Maybe throwing an inaccurate pass here and there. George Pickens not getting too much separation. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. Justin Fields had some bad passes he threw today, but the protection was not there whatsoever. We played severely under our capabilities on offense. It was absolutely ridiculous. Van Jefferson getting a whole bunch of targets. Last I checked, he is not the #1 receiver. Don't get me wrong. Throw the football to the open man, but we had a ton of 50-50 balls was thrown in his direction. Those should be thrown towards George Pickens. What are we doing? Where's the decision-making process? Makes absolutely no sense. Defensively, can't get off the field on third down. I already spoke about that. Rushing defense, where the fuck is the stops? This shit was looking like 2016 all over again. They ran the football down our throat. Who the hell is Rico Dowdle? I don't think his jerseys are even on sale in Dallas. And yet he was making a name for himself, looking like Jay Ajayi in 2016 when he was playing for Miami. He may not have ran for 200 yards like he did back then, but one way or another, it felt as if he hit us for a goddamn 100 piece. Felt like he hit us for a 200 piece, because every single goddamn drive, this man was eating. We was able to shut down CeeDee Lamb. Outside of that spectacular catch on that opening drive, he really did a whole lot of nothing. But guess what? Jalen Tolbert evidently rubbing his nutsack all over our defense. We can't tend to get ourselves off the field. 4th and goal sort of situation. I'm live streaming. I said if they run a crossing route, we're absolutely done. They run a crossing route, our game absolutely done. Deshaun Elliott over here hesitating. Over here to freaking glitching and shit. You looking like an app getting ready to get deleted. You wiggling and shit. Why don't you go and pick up the man? You know exactly what the hell's in front of you. This is why you study tape. But this goes back to what I said in the beginning. We don't know our alignment. We don't know our assignment. We don't know our responsibility. Time management, absolute ass. Why the fuck do we only have one timeout left to go in the final 2 minutes of this game? Make it make sense. Tomlin, I'm looking at you. Because this is the kind of game that has a playoff atmosphere that we've desperately been trying to go and get W's in. And we constantly go out there and fail. Don't get me wrong. I knew watching throughout this game, this was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, Mike Tomlin kind of flow, to where it's a whole close, tight-knit game. We have a lead to where we feel as if we're in good standing. 4th quarter, all of a sudden, is going to take a freaking Herculean effort from our defense in order to go and win this game, because our offense ain't going to mess around and make it happen. And unfortunately, we got eaten up on third down. And as they were marching down the field, I sat here and said, I'm just hoping we have enough time on the clock. And we did not. Furthermore, the final sequence of the game, make it make sense. We've got 15 seconds. Justin Fields throws a football down the middle of the field. Does that make any sense? We have no timeouts remaining. Let's just say the pass just so happened to get caught. You know we would have ran out of time and been unable to spike the football to try to kick a field goal, right? They're playing prevent defense. Dump the football off, run as much yards as you can, and then get out of bounds. Final play, throw the ball to George Pickens. This man, rather than step out of bounds and try to pick up a couple more yards, you throw it across the field. Don't get me wrong. All hope, for all intents and purposes, may have been lost. But where's our IQ? We don't have it. It doesn't exist up there. We're number 1 in the division, but guess what? We lost. Bengals lost, Browns lost, and the Ravens have done nothing but win after starting 0-2. And they look primed and ready to come and take that division. Granted, it's only the first 5 weeks of football, but let's call a spade a spade. We've lost 2 in a row in games we should have won. Could have beat Indianapolis, folded over there because we can't play first half football. Could have beaten Dallas, folded because we can't play first half football and absolutely can't stop nobody on third down. Don't you understand it's us who's in front of us? We're not even really playing against another team. We're playing against us. And we find ways to beat ourselves every single week. We might as well just go and say we do a masturbation out there. Grab the lubricant. No Diddy challenge. Go and get the baby oil. We're beating off every single goddamn game, finding ways to beat ourselves. Y'all should be angry right now inside the locker room. Apoplectic. There should be conniptions that's happening over there in the locker room. People should be getting in each other's face. Because how is it that you let yourself lose in this manner? Don't get me wrong. Again, no disrespect to Dallas. They took care of business. They stayed resilient. And down the stretch, they were able to go and get the W. But let's call a spade a spade. Pittsburgh handed them this game on a fucking platter. Because you could not get off the field on third down. It wasn't as if Dallas was putting on some super virtuoso performance. Magnificent fucking passes from Dak Prescott. Magnificent runs from Rico Dowdle. The holes were fucking there. People missing their gaps left and right. We running a damn blitz. We've got multiple motherfuckers running in the same location. We damn near glued shoulder pads together. You got the front numbers on the back of somebody's back numbers. unable to make it to the quarterback in time, split seconds away from getting a whole bunch of sacks here and there. Ridiculous. How the hell you win a turnover battle 3-0 and we mess around and we lose the game? For shame. For absolute shame. Most times when you have a game come down to the wire like this, I'll sit over there and say, hey man, it was a hard-fought game. We may have lost, but hey, there's something you can hang your head high on based off what you've seen. There wasn't a single thing that I saw in this particular game that would make me say, hey man, we could take this into next week. Not a single goddamn thing. Because this is classic Pittsburgh Steeler, Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steeler era folding in the fourth quarter, in the second half, on third down, on offense. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And I said coming into this game, if in the event we happen to have Justin Fields go out there and put on a performance, then we could go and see if we could aggressively maybe trade Russell Wilson to try to see if we could go and get Devontae Adams. I don't even want another receiver on this team if this is the type of passing football that we're going to go out there and do. Because what the fuck are we even going to do with him if he happens to come to the team? Offensively, we look terrible. And we've got to fix this shit. Granted, there's no real preseason that exists now in today's NFL. So you've got to learn as the season progresses. But guess what? You ain't the only motherfucking team that happens to go through these same sort of growing pains. Everybody on the league is dealing with it. But for whatever reason, we seem to be having the same issues for the last 10 years. And other teams not only have caught up, they've surpassed us. Y'all got to get it together. We got to get it together. And we cannot continue to lose games in this fashion. Because if we're going to lose, let the other team leave absolutely no doubt that they're the better team. I'm tired of losing games where we end the game and I sit over there and say, man, we could have won if we didn't make this mistake, if we didn't make this mistake. And it wasn't even a mistake that was freaking orchestrated by the opposing team's talent that forced us into that position. We find ways to lose games. Other teams find ways to win. We find ways to lose games. Everybody right now should be feeling ashamed of themselves. And we've got to go and bounce back in the next coming weeks. Because if this is the performance that we're going to do, we might mess around and have that winning season. But guess what? Yet another season, no postseason victory. AFC North is incredibly competitive. Granted, Cleveland, absolute ass. Cincinnati, incredibly tough start. Baltimore, getting right back into their form. But they all gonna run right by us if we keep playing this brand of football. We've lost 2 in a row. And if we keep playing like this, we're gonna lose a lot more. So we gotta get it together. Next week, better be polished, better be disciplined, better know our alignment, our assignment, our responsibility, because this performance here, this ain't it whatsoever. I don't give a damn about no delay. I don't give a damn about no injury. I don't give a damn about no weather. I don't give a damn about, well, the field was maybe damn. It's fucking football. If it's rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, hurricane, twister, tornado, earthquake, one way or another, you find ways to go out there and play your brand of football. Because the Dallas Cowboys, despite the same shit that we had to endure, they handing out game balls, celebrating on the way back to Pittsburgh. Or I should say back to Dallas. Us, we ain't eating no Pomani Bros. We ain't getting no late night pizza. We not going nowhere and getting no club sandwich. We ought to stay hungry. Go on a fucking water fast all week, because I'm going to need you to be starving for greatness next week, because this right here, absolute ass. Get your hands up in here. Steelers on 3. Get it the fuck together on 6. 1, 2, 3 Steelers. Get it the fuck together. What the hell are we doing, bro? This ain't it. This ain't it. At all. At all. All these knockout commentaries had me thinking, why don't I knock someone out myself? So I came up with Knockdown Tea, guaranteed to help you sleep longer, sleep better, relax, and restore. Passion fruit flavored, so you know it's good. Simply take it 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep, and our slogan is 1 cup down for the count, 2 cups, throw in the towel. So make sure you click the link in my description, head over to knockdowntea.com and grab your first pack today. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.